Officials told me there was a group of about 20 people all hiking along this trail, and it wasn't until they reached this opening that they noticed that one person was missing. The owner of this home thought they heard a noise coming from this bedroom window. So when they came outside to check it out and see what the noise was, they also noticed that there was a ladder here. By the time the owner walked outside, she noticed the person was already halfway down. This hole is just big enough for me to get through, or maybe someone slightly larger than me, but this is how the suspects broke in to the Best Buy store through the back of the building. And not only did the suspects bust through this wall, but there's also this second hole blocked by pipes and 4 other lights. Overhead, all broken, nothing but glass everywhere. Hickory police say a woman was hit and killed here after she stepped directly into the path of an oncoming train.
Oh, God!
This is all that is left of Bethlehem Baptist Church. I'm not allowed to get too close to the building. Duke Energy is actually testing these drones out in Sherrills Ford, North Carolina. I've got my hard hat on and my glasses for safety. Take a look behind me. You can see Duke Energy has several drones out here, helicopters and planes as well. You all know I'm one of the judges, right? Yes. All right, so you ready for that? I'm going to try it again. Still good. The rifle and shotgun that you see beside me is not loaded. In fact, the gun owner has placed a lock around the weapons, preventing anyone from taking them apart or pulling the trigger until the lock that the gun owner holds is placed inside. There were actually 3 total accidents. The first one happened in between mile markers 137 and 138 on I-40 westbound, and the other 2 accidents, both separate accidents, happened just feet away from each other at exit 138 Oxford School Road. This week has been all about Hurricane Joaquin. The very powerful Category 4 storm has already made its way through the Bahamas, and it caused a lot of damage in that area. Now, due to safety reasons, I did wear this bulletproof vest during the ride-along. Monday afternoon, hunters found a human skull in this area near Lake James. This is just off Powerhouse Road in Burke County. Now, yesterday we also learned that in addition to the skull, investigators also found 9 other bones.
Into it. Don't be afraid to step into it.
So snow is continuously falling heavy. It's not enough to make a snowball yet, but I'm pretty sure by the end of the night I'll be able to. Both the victim's family and the suspect's families were inside the courtroom this morning for this case. Shay Fullard and Nathan Vasquez were arrested last night for the murder of Marcus Devlin. We were inside this morning. You can see from the video Vasquez mouthing the words to his family members, "I didn't do it." On Saturday night around 8:30, police responded to a call on Freemason Road in Hudson. They found 34-year-old Marcus Devlin dead. This morning, family members of the victim and the suspect spoke with us. The victim's wife told me she didn't understand why her husband was killed.
Over what? I do not know.
Tomorrow, I'll be looking into the case to see if police have gone through any more warrants and hopefully have more information for you. I've been hearing different opinions about this issue all day long, but the bottom line is there is no law that prohibits people from flying the Confederate flag. Now, the incident happened right here behind me. A teenager was pumping gasoline in his pickup truck and he had the flag flying on the back of it. A man came up to him, told him to take the flag down, and when he said no, the man responded by pulling a gun out. Now, I shot this video on my phone several weeks ago. You can see here there is about 50 to 60 cars in line flying their Confederate flag. We actually had viewers message us through our WHKY Facebook page when this happened. Some of those viewers concerned for their safety, others alerting us of the situation.
It's my flag, it's my property, and if someone doesn't like it, then until it becomes their property, then they can take it down.
This is my flag, this is my choice. It stays where it's at. If you want to take it down, you can try to take it down, but this has nothing to do with what happened in the past.
I had over 600 men in my family, on one side of my family, to die in the Confederate War. This flag is heritage for me. My flag will not come down.
This incident happened early Sunday morning around 1:30. Police haven't released the surveillance, but the store clerk told me they had the whole incident on video. After telling people what happened, these are the reactions I got.
I think it's their right if they want to. I don't see anything wrong with it.
This woman lives on the same road as the teen involved in the incident.
I mean, as long as they're not physically harming someone, I don't see anything wrong with it.
Pastor Roberts, a Navy veteran, says there's no reason for violence to occur because of a disagreement.
I can disagree with you. I don't have to pull out a gun. Because once you pull out a gun, bullet doesn't have a color, bullet doesn't have a race, bullet doesn't have a sex, a bullet doesn't care. And to take a person's life because he wouldn't take a flag off the back of his truck, that's too extreme to me. That's real extreme.
Hickory Police Officer Thurman Wisnett says the police are trying to make sure incidents like this are taken seriously.
We've still got some follow-up and some work to do, and we just hope, we understand that, recently that there's a lot of controversy surrounding the Confederate flag, and we just hope that everyone would take into account the feelings of others and use good judgment, but there's no justification for someone to pull a firearm on another person for that.
A Caldwell County couple told us regardless of how people may feel about the flag, they're not taking theirs down.
I'm going to fly it until they put me in the ground.
Nothing will ever take my flag down, and my flag is on me permanently, and it will stay on me permanently.
Mixed opinions all around. Fortunately, no one was hurt during this incident. Hickory police are still investigating. No charges have been filed thus far. Those suspects parked right here beside the police station before going across the street. Let me show you what I'm talking about. You can probably see that business off in the distance. They headed towards the back, going across the street. The owner said he heard a knock at the door, and that's when one of those suspects attacked.
Luckily, when I went to the door, I had my gun with me. So I walked over to the door. When I opened the door up, I instantly got hit with a bottle over the top of the head, and it floored me back.
Jordan Lyons is currently remodeling the Catawba Feed and Supply store. He usually stays overnight and never runs into any problems, but last night he believes he could have lost his life.
I didn't expect anything ever like this to happen in Catawba because everybody knows everybody, so it's a complete shock to me.
After the first suspect hit him in the head with a beer bottle and then a cinder block, Lyons went for his gun.
When he did that, that's when I fired the first shot into his chest area, I'm going to say.
After shooting that suspect, the other two tried to take off the other way, but Lyons continued to fire.
Once the guns went off, he was trying to get back out. They was all trying to get back door, and I fired another shot.
The next gunshot missed the suspects and instead left a bullet hole in Lyons' pickup truck. All three of the suspects ran from behind the store, leaving a trail of blood all the way here, where they were able to drive away.
Where the blood trail ends is right here beside the police department.
Lyons had to go to the hospital earlier this morning. He had several cuts on his head. He told me he's just glad he owns a firearm.
I'm just thankful to be alive, and I'm just glad I had a firearm to protect myself and save my life.
The police chief told me he got a report about a shooting victim showing up to the hospital earlier this morning claiming that he had been shot in Newton. Now, they don't have anything to tie that person directly to the crime here, but they have been collecting blood evidence from the scene, and there are surveillance cameras all over this small town. They're looking into that to find out who was involved. A local teen was arrested Friday for trying to provide information to ISIS. A criminal complaint was filed today in federal court. The documents say that Justin Sullivan was planning assassinations and violent attacks in the United States. He also planned to purchase a semi-automatic rifle at the local gun show this past Saturday. I was at Sullivan's home earlier today when we first broke the news on WHKY, and his neighbors told me the teen would often have target practice just yards away from their home.
He had a BB gun, pistol BB gun, and he had different targets set up, and he'd run around and shoot those targets. That really it made me uncomfortable. Seriously, it made me uncomfortable.
It was from behind this fence where neighbors say Sullivan would shoot. They described him as a strange man. They said he never said anything to them.
I don't know. It's hard. You're still trying to sink in, that we actually live next door to somebody who could have killed all of us.
Coming out of this story in relation to another case in that same neighborhood that is still unsolved. In December, 74-year-old John Clark Bailey was found dead. He was buried in his own front yard. His home is less than 300 yards away from Sullivan's. Some residents told me they wonder now if the teen had anything to do with that murder.
So they took him outside and tried to bury him.
WHKY reached out to the Burke County Sheriff. We asked if they were looking into whether the two cases could be connected, but he would not comment. What caused the plane to go down just moments after taking off from the Hickory Regional Airport last night? WHKY was there as firefighters were working to make sure there were no leaks that could possibly lead to an explosion. The small plane was carrying 4 people, 2 who were children. Fortunately, everyone on board survived. One woman was just feet away after the crash happened.
They had rolled the guy out, and I saw the mother coming down here. I guess it was the mother of a son, and she was saying, my son, my son, my son. It's unfortunate, that the plane had just took off, and it crashed just as soon as it took off.
A man is in custody tonight, and a woman is in the hospital after an argument between the couple led to a fight between them and another couple in western Catawba County. I was on the scene this morning as officers arrested Matthew Pardue. You can clearly see all of the bloodstains on his clothing. Police were called after Pardue allegedly assaulted his ex-girlfriend. She ran next door for help, but neighbors say Pardue came after her, and that couple decided to fight back.
Because he done beat her to death, and when he got down here on the porch, he pushed my old lady, and that's when we fought right here on the porch. He was trying to come into the house and get her, but I wasn't allowing that.
So far, no charges have been filed against the other couple. The woman assaulted is in fair condition tonight.